Kenny Burrell employs a forbidden note over a dominant chord. If you want to take things further, you only need to In today's video we are going to deal with one of my favorite solos from the great Kenny Burrell. I'm talking about Holy Cats, which belongs to its record called A Generation Ago Today, which is kind of a tribute to the Benny Goodman sextet in which Charlie Christian played. Holy Cats, it's a Benny Goodman composition, it's a G blues, and it's nothing fancy in the head except for the wide intervals in the melody and a couple of tricks in the harmony that shows the traditional harmony from the swing era and the transition into the bebop. Let's dive into Holy Cats. The melody starts with a major triad from the root up to the octave, and a descending line that sounds very cool, but sounds even cooler when you put the bass on the low register and hear the actual changes that it depicts. Third, minor third, root. Third, minor third, fifth and root, diminished, nice harmony. Time to look into the solo, and before doing that we need to know that the actual changes of this tune are a bit simplified in this part during the solos, and even had a beautiful twist that I'm going to explain you in order to hear the actual harmony that the guys are playing in the record and Kenny Burrell defines during his solo. It starts with 4 bars on G7, moving to C7 on the 5th bar, and then after 2 bars the new changes, 2 5s, chromatic 2 5s from the 3rd, 2, 5, and turn around. There are a lot of different possibilities on the turnaround, of course, but you can hear definitely this E flat 7 going to here, and sometimes G sharp or A flat moving to G dominant. So, the first trick, Kenny Burrell employs a forbidden note over a dominant chord, which is an 11th. Of course it's not forbidden, but in some books you read a lot of not using this note, and then you transcribe Charlie Parker, you transcribe Kenny Burrell, everybody, and everybody is playing the 4th sometimes, and more than sometimes. So it's a very nice note to start a solo. And take a look at the idea behind this, because very bluesy theme, and he's only using a major triad basically, because this is the 4th, the 3rd, the 5th, good, and chromatic blues to the 3rd, minor 3rd, and landing on major 3rd. And then when harmony moves to the 4th, he does exactly the same, starting the phrase on the fourth. And here on the fourth, one of the trademarks of the blues language, and of course of Kenny himself, playing blues, regular blues scale, but on the fourth, instead of starting to shoot on the first measure of the form. So pentatonics and blues. And now comes the funny part, the chromatic 2/5s. And on the first chorus, Kenny employs his mind. Nothing on the first two beats. And then look at how good this phrase glue this chromatic and this one. This movement from E flat 7 to A minor. And on the dominant, again on the fourth. In this case, fourth going to the third, instead of doing any other type of chromatics like he did before. It is just beautiful line. Second chorus. Second chorus starts and Kenny plays this beautiful line to approach the fifth of the first chord. And then two fives again, approaching the fifth on this chord and the ninth on the dominant. So moving the same, and now on E minor, bebop, home again, and ending with blues line. As you can see, there is a lot to grasp in only two choruses. So my advice would be to take a little fraction of the solo, an arpeggio that you like, even a chromatic passage, whatever catches your attention. So yeah, definitely there's a lot of fun in Kenny Burrell as usual. And now, if you want to take things further, you can practice this, both the melody and the solo, against a metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If you really want to add some spicy element to your practicing, you only need to turn on the metronome, put it on 2 and 4, and try to play at high tempo, being relaxed, cleaning the different lines that are not comfortable for you, and try to keep in time with the machine, which is a fantastic way to demonstrate ourselves that we are really able to play that tune, that melody, that idea. Metronome always brings the light to our playing, so sometimes I had to admit that maybe for some people it's not very sexy to play with a click all the time, but it's really worthy, and probably when you are not only playing with a metronome but playing with real people and different situations, even in a duo, you will thank yourself for having the patience to practice with the metronome, because you will have acquired a lot of skills that are really necessary to play this music and keep steady and not turning down the party. So keep the metronome on. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Remember, you got all the PDFs with the transcription available on my website for free, so check it out and see you in the next chapter.